little sort of early. Hello and welcome to Movie Crap Live. I hope it sounds okay. Does it sound okay? Okay. There we go. The music's playing. Just send out the tweet there. Get rid of that tab. Hello, Ramsey the artist, Nathaniel Foga, Cornbread, Dylan Butler. I think I saw somebody up there. Jordan Salafalo, Purple Goop, Austin. Did I get everyone? I think I did. Jordan Salafalo. Where are we going? Chum Cracer, K-Master. Well, hello and welcome to another edition, I guess, of Movie Crap Live. Yes, and thank you very much for being here. And away we go, as they say. All right. Sorry. Let me switch to me. Hello. I'm in the kitchen. Hot in the kitchen. Whatever. I'm in the kitchen this time. Talking about a lot of D23. Hey, John Barton. Hello, Juan Don Natty. And Gary's here. That's cool. Hey, Gary. Okay, that's fine. I didn't know which is your alt and non-alt account. Yes, this is going to be an interesting show. A lot of news this week, specifically from D23. Not all the news. I know my first post about streaming was like, it's pretty much going to be D23. There are like some major news stories that are not just that one Disney convention, but it is a lot of it. There's no way to sort of have a big section of the show that's just D23. But there is other stuff, so if you're wondering, you're like, I don't care about that shit, don't worry. There'll be other stories to talk about. Not much with me, necessarily, just making stuff. Seeing some movies. Saw some cool stuff. I saw the movie Babes, which I really related to. I thought that was really good. I don't know, maybe related to too hard, because I'm not sure how to review it without being super personal. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see about that. Ooh, chicken and rice. That sounds good, cornbread. As well as saw Lisa Frankenstein again. What did I saw the whatever the SpongeBob thing is. I need to shoot a review of that. But yeah, it's I don't know, just living life. I thought last week was a good show. I hope tonight is a good show. Also, the big announcement that I guess my review of On Your Mark, the music video. Hello, Javier Portello. How's it going? Directed by Hayao Miyazaki, is now my most viewed video ever, actually. So a segment from Movie Crap is now, or a Movie Crap short is now the biggest video I've ever done, and the first video for this channel to cross 100,000 views, which is pretty insane. I honestly am a little surprised. I've seen more people talk about that video, not because of me. I don't have that kind of ego, but I've seen more talk about it in the year since. Or I mean the SpongeBob Netflix movie. Yeah, it's crossed 100,000, which is amazing. I only actually reviewed it, and because I've heard people tell me like, oh, you reviewed it because you knew that more people would talk about it. And I was like, no, I reviewed it because it was literally the only Ghibli thing I hadn't reviewed. That was literally the whole crux of it. There wasn't that was kind of the whole thing. So if anyone says I knew, I didn't. I just was like, what's the only Ghibli thing I could review for The Boy and the Heron that isn't The Boy and the Heron? And it was that. So that's cool. I'm happy about that. And I guess I had my first 100,000 thing on TikTok with the Michael B. Jordan, but it kind of means more on YouTube, to be honest with you. I don't know what you just paid me in, Chum Cracer. What I don't understand what just happened with this, but I'll according to my other thing, it's like $2. Okay. What's CLP? I have so many more questions. First off, I want to give Ramsey the artist who won the energy drink thing. Hold on, let me get my monitor up. sometimes I do know a thing is coming out. I think this is coming and I'll do it. But that was not one of those times. And oftentimes I'm wrong. So Ramsey Artist guessed C4 and he guessed the popsicle brand, but I got grape. He did not pick grape. But I'm just going to give him a tiny thing because usually cornbread wins this every time. So I'm just saying Ramsey Artist won this outright. But I don't want to be, I don't want any I want to be 100%. So, but Chum Cracer, hold on. Let's take a drink of this. I don't know if I've had C4 on here. If anyone, I do need to at some point make a list of when and all that stuff. But cheers to you. It's Chilean Peso. Hey, I'm cool with Chilean Peso. I'm cool with anyone. Anyway, any denomination. Cheers to you, Chum Cracer. I will answer this question. I do have answers. I do like purple pop. I've noticed that. All right. He says, do I, meaning me, I guess, recommend any YouTube movie critics besides yourself? I used to follow a bunch, but fell off most of them besides you. Really appreciate your stuff. First off, that's actually a really nice, it's a really nice compliment. I will tell you ones I watch on the regular. Mark Kermode, I think, is great. I'm so influenced by him that when I used to do the multi-camera thing, it's mostly because I saw he did it, and now he doesn't do it anymore, and I don't do it anymore. So, but Kermode is a great critic, and he's English critic, but he's truly great. I would say Breakfast All Day is another one with Alfonso Giraldi and Christy Lumiere. Is it Christy? No, Christy. Whatever. They're both on there. You should. Breakfast All Day is good. Those are two. I would say, the Armchair Auteur, I think, is a great YouTuber. He's mostly doing his podcast. He's going on some rough times, but when he has a review, even though we definitely disagreed on Batman Cape Crusader, he's a guy who I've listened to every podcast he's done. I will probably watch every review he ever makes. He's I really like him. Be Kind Rewind, who isn't a critic, but I consider, I'll watch anything she ever does. I think she's great. Outside of YouTube, and this is on a podcast, I will say the critically acclaimed network, those being William Bibiani and Whitney Seibold, they're really great as well. As well as Deep Focus Lens. I've been watching her since the beginning. In all seriousness, I think we started around the same time, and she's pretty good also. So I guess those are enough people. Movie Bob, I go back and forth on because there's some reviews I'm like, wow, that was great. That was such a good point. And then other times he makes me cringe so hard I don't watch him for months. So he's and I've heard other people, Film Crit Hulk, who I used to really like and I haven't checked in on. I think he just posts on his Patreon now. Even has talked about, a lot of big critics have talked about how, Movie Bob will be like, man, that's a really good point. And then he'll say something like, God damn it, I don't want to follow you anymore. He's my one that I'm like, Jesus, why the fuck did you say that? Anyway. No, it's okay, Ramsey Artist. I just, I have to, but you get it. You get it this time. Chantalk, thank you for the $1. Chantalks More Movies. If you have a question, that's cool too, but thank you for the support. Cheers to you. I think that's everybody that I want to recommend on the movie. I also think Joe Blow, I could go on because there are other critics I like Matt Singer, Alison Wilmore. Sorry, you got me talking about film critics, and I could do the whole show on film critics I like. Pauline Kael doesn't have a YouTube presence, but if she did, yeah, okay, I'll stop. I forgot who I was going to say now. All right, other things. I wanted to talk about one thing that's going to happen with the channel over the next few months. The compilation videos, I know I've talked a bit about them. We're going to see more of those just because I have a lot of trips and family things going on the weekend, and I just won't have time to make a video on some days. And so they're obviously by definition very much filler or combination things. So if you see that, I will just know that it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I'm too tired. That is literally the reason. It'll probably get the most the week of Halloween. where it'll probably just only be compilations for the most part. But after that, it won't be as much, maybe once or twice a month. But if you see that, don't think like, oh man, what happened to this fucking dude? He like fell off. But this weekend, I know it's just the Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman thing, which I will never do two people from the same movie again. That was like a fucking mistake. Like, it's like I regret this so much, doing them both at once. So I think I'll just pick one person at a time there. Maybe like have just a one individual one, but like the way two at once, I was like, this is taking never again. So if you were like that was stupid, I agree. So you will see one this weekend, maybe next weekend, but I know in like sometimes it's like in September there's some things with Agatha, and there's a certain date in September I'm gonna hopefully put out something with. But anyway, I do like Patrick H. Willems. He's not my thing with Patrick H. Willems, and I feel the same way about Lindsay Ellis, is I sort of think they're film critics, and I think what they do is criticism. But when you talk about film critics, I talked about someone who will review movies, and he doesn't really do that. He makes essays about stuff. He sometimes reviews movies. And Lindsay, although I will give Lindsay Ellis credit, she is like, I'm not a critic. And I'm like, I agree, actually. You're not. So, you make criticism, but you're not a movie critic in the strictest sense. So that's why I'm saying that. Anyway, Cornbread is, you are right. If I was two people and they weren't doing the same thing, if they didn't have multiple, it was an ambitious idea, and I'm glad it's over. Let me just put it that way. I was like, Hugh Jackman may be more interesting than Ryan Reynolds in a lot of ways. Other than that, sorry I didn't have a video Tuesday, but I had things like we had the Ryan Reynolds things fading off. There should be an actual movie review tomorrow, and there's the Chicago. I forget what all's here recently. The super movie bracket. People kept getting upset with me, and I was like, oh, that's okay. I was kind of like, oh, hello, Jennifer Silver. I don't know if she's a good author or not, but that's interesting. I've heard that. There should be more stuff, and I think there'll be like the SpongeBob review. And I just found out the Mickey Mouse slasher came out. I want to review that soon, so I didn't forget about. Thank you, Chan Docs Maurice. I don't know if you heard about it, but I heard the Mickey Mouse slasher came out, so I do plan on reviewing. I'll review every Mickey Mouse slasher, let me tell you. The other thing is the segment tonight is on Chili Willy. Since my son I think I've told you before in here, got into Woody Woodpecker. I started researching Walter Lantz, and we watched the Woody Woodpecker thing on MeTV Tunes, and they played Chili Willy, and I was sort of, I don't know, he's not the greatest character. He's probably the third most famous after Oswald and Woody Woodpecker, because Oswald became part of the Walter Lantz thing. But he's sort of considered the second biggest Walter Lantz creation. Even though I guess he's third after Oswald, but Oswald's not his, obviously. I kind of want to do it because I'm sort of into this guy right now, and I thought sometimes when I'm into a show, I'm like, well, I have this YouTube channel. I just want to like express that I'm into this weird fandom. So that's sort of what I'm doing. I don't know if I'll do another one or not. I just kind of wanted to do this one. So that's the deal. I didn't do Foster's because I haven't watched it as much as you guys, and I don't want to do like I didn't have the time to spend the time with Foster's to do the correct review. So that's why I didn't do it despite the anniversary. But Ryan suggested it. Believe you me. All right. Calamity Jane. The Calamity Jane movie is finally on Tubi. Okay, I'll remember that. I watched Johnny Mnemonic. That movie's fucking crazy, but like definitely predicted a lot of stuff, and it's not a good movie, but I was like, it is like a fun watch. Like that is the definition of a movie that I was like, I would probably like say I enjoyed it, but it is like in no means good. All right. I don't know if I'd review. See, the problem is like I have too many things I've shot that don't get edited, so I kind of don't. Sometimes I don't shoot stuff because I'm like, I don't know when this is coming out. Anyway. Well, I'll get to that. All right. Sinram, you are correct. So Chili Willy is not in. The character does not show up, but he is referenced. You are correct. He is referenced. And I was surprised. I thought he just was that a term. I didn't actually know that until recently. Maybe I saw Chili Willy when I was a kid, but it didn't register or something. But when he said that, I didn't know that was a character till like I was watching the Woody Woodpecker hour on MeTV Tunes. All right, so what is my script there? You can tell. Okay. I think you can hear when I was watching The Sixth Sense. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's what that is. All right. This and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through my Patreon, which has all sorts of cool stuff and new stuff posted recently and sent out. Haha, I've been doing things. Or through super chats during the show where I'll drink this amazing popsicle grape thing. Yeah. Sorry. It helps me do all sorts of cool stuff like promote the show, continue to make videos, pay bills, all sorts of stuff like that. And the more support there is for the show, the more seriously I can do this and the more it helps me be able to do this. So if you're financially able to do so, thank you very much. If you're considering the Patreon, there's all sorts of things. Like recently I posted a Knock Force commentary for the Knock Force Quickie Easter, as well as the postcards, which I haven't posted about, but have been actually mailed out. So you might have, if you're someone who gets a postcard, you might have already received it. I don't know about that, but it is possible. And then, but you get all sorts of stuff like postcards, more power in the movie review vote, my commentary series, which is exclusive to paid Patreon members, and yeah, and it as well helps me support the show and stuff like that. I know the thing with Patreon, if you're going to do Patreon, do it through the website, not through iOS. It's not really going to affect me in terms of the monthly subscription thing because we sort of already do that. I don't do it based on video. I haven't fully looked into the Patreon thing, so if you're like, Jim, some of that's inaccurate, I haven't had the time and I plan to look at it before November, trust me. But I think for the most part, if you are, I suggest you don't do it on iOS because of the whole Apple thing. Anyway, thank you very much if you're financially able to do so. If not, just liking this video or subscribing where you can find all sorts of cool things like the throwbacks, which I forgot to talk about and will after all this, and then or hearing about the streams and then knowing anytime I post a video. But if you're just watching and you're just here and you just like doing that and you never comment or anything like that, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the videos. Austin, back from the theater. Did you know Ryan Toy Review World movie coming out soon? I did know about that, and first off, cheers to you. I think they got their own like recess therapy, if I recall correctly. But which is why I was like, I thought it was like, to be honest with you, I look at the release calendar, and there's some movies that like never took the, like Box Office Mojo forgot to move the movie or the studio forgot to tell anyone, so I thought like they placed it there and like they didn't make it, and they did actually they actually it's coming out, so I wouldn't review. It's my only thing is like, if it Stuckman I'll review. He's an adult. I don't really like to like, I'm not going to mess with that, to be honest with you. Not that you expected me to review it, but to me it's like, I don't like to criticize kids like that. That just sucks, you know. I feel bad for that kid anyway. All right. I forgot to, let me do the Discord and stuff, and then I forgot to talk about the throwbacks. But if you enjoy everyone in here in the chat, you should go to the Discord, which is a great community. I actually ask them, hey, what do you want me to talk about in movie crap tonight? In general, actually has a daily question. I go there almost every day. It's the Discord I'm most active in. There's the Ask Jim channel where you can ask me a question. I do eventually answer it. You can give me suggestions. You can also, it's not just about me, by the way. They do weekly movie watches, which is really cool. They, which I'm not sure what they're doing, if you guys in the chat want to tell me, as well as like movie discussions, video game discussions, drawing stuff, all sorts of cool stuff. It's really interactive. It's really great. It's run very well by Austin and St. Powers to do a great job. They're watching the Yu-Gi-Oh movie apparently. And there's licensed playing card channel, which I'm going to need to get a new one because these are like real crapped up at the moment. But anyway, check out the Discord. It is really great and wonderful, and they do a great job, and it's a wonderful community. And if you are like, these people seem cool, but I can never go to be here on the show, well, guess what? You can, because everyone in the chat is pretty much there. So it's great if you ever, need a bud to talk to some movies with. It's a great place to do that with. And I'm also on TikTok, Tumblr, Facebook fan page, Instagram, both personal and the Reels one, Twitter, which I'm most active on. I think I said Tumblr, Facebook fan. It's on the thing. It's in the description. If you want to follow me on all this stuff, it's there and stuff. I forgot to talk about throwbacks. On Monday, I did Clerks, the movie, because it's having its 30th anniversary. I'm not sure if I'm posting Purple Rain. The second one was going to be Purple Rain because it's its 40th anniversary. I thought that was appropriate since Kevin Smith likes Prince and is working on a Prince documentary, and Morris Day and the Time is in Jane Silent Bob, so I thought it sort of connected. Oh, whoa! I just caught a fly. Oh, that was crazy. Hold on. I really just did. Look at that. It's a bug. I think it's sort of... Anyway, I caught it with my hands. Look at that. I got some fucking Miyagi skills. All right. I actually can do it. People don't believe me, but I guess that was proof. Sorry. I didn't stroke my ego there. But, yes, my reviews of Clerks went out on Monday. Should wash my hands. Sorry. We're in the kitchen, so there's a sink. Apologies. Yes, my review of Clerks when I was doing my Kevin Smith series, as well as that's like the coolest thing. I don't know if people caught me catching. I don't know. Sorry. For my Kevin Smith series, and I reviewed Purple Rain because I loved the album in high school and stuff. I never saw the movie, and then when he died, it was like I have to see the movie. So I did. So you can check both those reviews out. They're obviously out now, but there'll be a hello, not Pleasantville. There'll be a throwback post either Thursday or Friday. All right, because it's having its anniversary. I do the big 0 anniversaries, not the 25 ones. All right. Okay, I'm going to do 2 pieces of news. Then we will get into D23 for a while, box office, and then more news. So if you're like, what about this? Probably later. I'm also not sure what I'm going to do for a stream next week because it feels like news is getting slow. So we'll see. I might not do one, but I will keep you updated. If I'm not going to do one, I'll let you know. I might just do one and I talk about movies I've liked this year because I never get to do that, and I like to tell people to see movies. I like to send out recommendations. You don't need to see them, but I like people to at least know. All right, release a short for Catching the Fly. I don't think it was that good, but I like... If I had an editor, I would be like, can we just see if that worked? But if it's me, I'm like, I have so precious time. I have no time. All right, so we learned... There is more James Cameron news, but I thought this deserves its separate thing. We learned that he is working on a secret Terminator project. I want to say this about this Terminator project. I have not seen Dark Fate since I originally saw it. But I liked it a lot, actually. I thought it was a cool twist to the thing. I thought it was unfortunate it didn't do well because it brought back Linda Hamilton. So I am curious, and I do like Avatar 2 was legitimately really good, especially that finale. So I am curious what he would do with Terminator. I'm also of the mind of like, after Dark Fate, I was like, look, Dark Fate didn't work out. Just like cut it out. Like just like it didn't work out in terms of financially or critically, or like it didn't critically. I think it did okay, but like that's not actually a big deal. I hate it when people go critically it bombs. I'm like, the studio could give 2 fucks about it, but sorry. I will buy Universal. Sinram, if you do, can I do an interview with you? If you really buy, I have to see it in the Hollywood Reporter. It has to say Sinram. Sinram bought YouTuber Sinram. Nobody saw it coming. But yes, James Cameron says he's working on something. I don't know if this is like he develops things for so long, like who knows when this will come out. But I am interested, and I do think the last time he was majorly involved, which was Dark Fate, not Terminator. Terminator 2 is great, and he still has the swag to do it. If you look at the end of the second Avatar, I think he could pull off a finale worthy of a Terminator movie. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know what he's planning, but it's very confidential, so we'll see about that. The only reason... I'm sorry I haven't done those top 10 videos. I see a couple of people posting about that. The only reason is because what happened after COVID and having 2 kids and stuff, it just got hard to like see them all and get the top 10 out in a reasonable time. And I have kind of felt like it kind of sucks because now nobody knows like what I would have picked as my number one movie. Last year it would have been Skinamarink. So if that helps, but I kind of maybe I should just do a stream and like write down what my number one would have been of those. Maybe that would actually be a good, because I do feel bad about that. It's just more of just like I used to see everything and then I'm like, okay, I'm done with it. I've seen all the major stuff, and then it became, well, I've seen most of them and I haven't seen enough and all that stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to. I would like to get back to those. And the tier videos, there's going to be another one coming out. It's just life, It's actually shot. So, all right. Hello, Anthony Cobblett's Pop Culture and Opening. That's interesting. Change your name there. Okay. The Kraven trailer. Oh, boy. I got to say, this looks like a fun, have a few beers with and pass out during... get fucked up and watch kind of movie. Like I'm like that element looks fun. I mean, all these bad Disney, Sony Spider-Man villain movies are kind of garbage. And this one looked, I mean, it looks like a garbage movie. It doesn't look good. And I kind of look at it, I mean, it looks ridiculous, but Aaron Taylor Johnson is so into it. I sort of like buy it. But the thing is, the rhino thing, I just find bizarre. Like, he looks like an actual rhino. He's a dude in a suit. Like, why are we fucking up Rhino? And why is Rhino there? Like, I don't know. I'm legitimately curious because J.C. Shandor, I think, who did Margin Call, and he's, like, not known for this kind of stuff, although he did that bad... Didn't he do the bad Netflix Ben Affleck, like, militia movie? Like, that was like not that was not good. So I don't know. I'm curious about this, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I think it could come out at the right time because December gets so serious in terms of like, you have to see this. This is the big Oscar movie. And like a dumb movie is like chef's kiss, like perfect for that time. My only thing is I think it's coming out too late. I think it should come out the weekend after Thanksgiving, because that's like where shit movies come out. But I think they like actually have faith in it, which is like, okay, Sony, that's funny. Nathaniel Foga says, makes me wonder how much longer until Alita 2. I wouldn't hold my breath on. Did I do it again? Oh, okay, that one got away. That one got away. I caught you. See, I can do it. This is like, okay. Anyway, cheers to you, Nathaniel Foga. I think Alita 2 is going to be a minute. That's what I think. I mean, he has the power to make it happen. Will he? He's getting older. He's got a lot of avatars to worry about. So, but cheers to you, Nathaniel Foga. If only I caught that other fly. I had a good shot of that one. All right. Okay, so if you're watching this later, it'll probably say D23 and be a big chunk. I will later go back and put D23.Pixar, D23.Marvel, whatever the fuck. So let's go into it. Jim catches flies the street. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. All right, we're going to do Pixar first. I think that is sort of the bigger one. So, actually, I have the first one. I have a story that's like adjacent to this, but I wanted to go with it. We learned that there's going to be an Incredibles 3. I don't believe it had a date. We got the logo, which is the Incredibles thing with 3 lines, and we learned that Brad Bird is back. I'm not surprised by this because Incredibles 2 does very well on streaming. People still watch it a lot. People still watch Incredibles. I still see people with those Mr. Incredible shirts. It is still a big major property. The other thing is, you're probably like, well, what happened to, isn't Brad Bird working on a movie for Skydance? Skydance Animation working on this movie called Ray Gun, which is the same name as the bad breakdancer lady from the Olympics, but apparently is unrelated to it. Because I looked up a TikTok of her while I was figuring out the thing of the show, and I was like, you should get her to cameo. Anyway, Ray Gun is still happening, but Ray Gun, because it kind of got confusing because you're like, wait, is he not working for Skydance anymore? What's going on? So basically what's happening with Raygun, and I want to explain this here, is because World of Real explained it that night, is it was originally going to be 2D, and no studio would pay for it with that budget. So Netflix is letting him do it with CG. Apparently this is a script that's been in development for a long time. It's supposed to be about the last human detective. It sounds really cool, but supposedly Raygun is going to be done first. Then he's going to Incredibles 3. I imagine a studio... Now, I have heard people say, why would they even bankroll this because Skydance sucks and stuff. If you're one thing Netflix does, and you've seen it time and time again, is they will pick people who do very well on home video, or get they get lots of views on their stuff. And look, regardless of what, I think Tomorrowland was bad. I think Incredibles 2 was not good either. But the only one of his movies that really does not get talked about or watched or referenced ever is Tomorrowland. Everything else is constantly in rotation. I constantly see either Ratatouille, Incredibles, even Mission Impossible 4, Iron Giant in outdoor screenings, brought up in best family movies, not maybe Mission Impossible, but the others. It's his movies are constantly being talked about, constantly being watched. So if you're a Netflix, you definitely want to be in business with them. Now, why they didn't let him artistically make a 2D movie again, I think is kind of bullshit, but I think it makes a lot of sense that it was going to happen somewhere, because I'm sure if Disney's this franchise that is wholly created by him, it's a complete auteur franchise, if that is still taking off from his mind and Iron Giant is still a favorite, you let him do his own thing. Now I think he's a bit dented, but since Incredibles 2 did so well, I think most studios will sort of let him do what he wants, but it doesn't sound like to the extreme he wanted to. But whatever. So Raygun's happening first, then Incredibles 3. We don't know anything about Incredibles 3. I kind of feel like if you're going to do Incredibles 3, Incredibles 2 should have come out in the maybe earlier 2010s. When did it come out? 2019, 2018? Something like that. I don't know. Probably should have come out in 2009 or 2010. It's just I don't know. I've watched Incredibles 2 more than once, and I don't like it. I kind of hope he comes up with a better concept for 3, but it sounds like this was sort of just announced and he has to come up with it, so we'll see. But there's no date attached. It was just an announcement. I think a lot of this is what Disney is doing and what they're prioritizing. We also learned about Toy Story 5, which is coming out in 2026. We still know that Andrew Stanton is directing it, which makes sense. He was involved in Pixar and Toy Story, the original. Since the beginning, we learned is the toys versus tech, and we see Woody in the pictures. I'm not in love with Woody coming back. I kind of feel like that was a good end, and I actually thought it was a good end to show that both for the baby boomers as well as franchises, there's a certain point where you need to move on with your life, and it feels like 5 would be literally shitting on that. I mean, it's I know people were mad at 4 after the perfect ending of 3, but I think 4 continued it, but literally bringing him back to the girl and stuff, I think really messes up the whole thing. But I get you can't have Toy Story without Woody, but I'm kind of I mean, I guess, but I'm really curious how you're going to get that to connect. I don't really get it. Also, I don't get, I don't know. The other thing is they have 50 rogue Buzz Lightyears stuck in play mode, but I'm how does that connect to the iPad thing? So many of this stuff, I'm just anyway, I like Toy Story 4. I think it's cool. It's sort of, anyway, big movie for me and my family, I think, but I just don't, I'm not really excited. I like Andrew Stanton as a director, but I kind of feel like him moving in live action was better. But Finding Dory was straight up not a good movie. It's really bad. So I'm kind of not excited for that at all. I'm kind of bummed. I don't know. I'm not really thrilled. And it's, I don't know. The problem with Pixar is you can get really down, and I was kind of down this weekend looking at D23 because I'm it's all these fucking remakes and sequels, and you have the opportunity, Disney and Pixar, they can make original movies and make a ton of people watch it, and that's an amazing thing. But there are original movies, and let's just talk about those, because as much as like I feel like I don't want an Incredibles 3, I'm curious about Ray Gun, but not Toy Story 5. So Hoppers, which is from Daniel Chung, who created We Bare Bears. It's about people hopping into kind of robot animals to help understand animals. It's like Avatar, but silly. Intentionally silly. Ho ho. Shots fired. Hey, William Melman. Hey, JJ Panda. Hey, Pup. I don't know if I said hey. But yeah, Hoppers looks really cool. I'm glad also. What did I not like about Finding Dory? Like most of it, I don't. Hey, the Weston. Hey, everybody's. Hello, Kristen Gutierrez. Yeah, I just don't. I forget. There's a whole review of it. What I didn't like about it. I have had to watch it. If there's a Pixar or Disney movie, I'm like, I really wish Jim would rewatch it. Trust me, I have multiple times. If you're like, he should give it another chance. It wasn't my choice. But Hoppers looks cool. But like I said before, I'm glad that Pixar is mining the Cartoon Network thing. I wish they would get more people from that. I think they need to do that more because, again, that's how they got Brad Bird. Brad Bird is not part of the Pixar team like Doctor and Stanton and Lasseter and Lee Ulrich. He's his own thing who they brought in, and they need to be doing that more, and I hope with Hoppers they explore that again. Which I think they need to do. Then we learned about Elio. Elio, I'm curious about because it had to switch directors, what's going on there. It's still a cool concept. We didn't really learn much except there. I'm more excited for Hoppers. But the next two Pixar movies are Elio, which I think is next March, and then Hoppers. So at least the next two things we're getting are original Pixar movies. I'm excited for both. I'm going to take the kids to both. So, as well as we saw the trailer and learned about Win or Lose, which is coming out on December 6th. This is basically every episode is from a different person's perspective about this team going on the big game. Sort of a Rashomon kind of idea. I think it could be cool. I'm actually a little excited for this one. My only reservation is December is a horrible time to release anything because there is so much inundating us. So maybe it is June. I apologize if I'm wrong about that, Green Wing Sparrow. I didn't write down the release date. So whatever is the release date, as Google says, I'm sure it is. But it looked promising. I'm excited for it. I know they're kind of like already like, we're not doing any more of this TV show thing. But I hope it does well. Maybe they'll change their minds if it's good. But I am a little worried that this could be good and get swallowed up. I think it'd be a smarter idea to put it out not at the craziest time of year, because I think that's why like Carol Meets the End of the World I think would have been more acclaimed had it not had to fight with all the holiday movies and the Thanksgiving movies and everything that's going on and like holiday parties and holiday plans. Like December is a bad, like from Thanksgiving till Christmas, don't release shit unless it's the biggest thing in the world, because you will get forgotten so easily. And even like people like me who cover stuff, you have to make cuts and like you're going to pick the bigger thing. And I think that anyway, but it's a big thing because it's a Pixar thing. I hope it works out for them. I just have reservations. I wouldn't have put it out then. I think it's a bad release date. That's my only thing. I'm sure they're hoping kids will watch it over the holidays. Maybe that's the intention. I hope it works out. But, you never know. We'll see how much promotion they put behind it. We also saw Dream Productions, which is different than I thought it was going to be. It's about the people behind the scenes of the dreams, like it's like a movie studio and stuff like that. It takes place between 1 and 2, or Inside Out 1 and 2. Sounds actually a little more interesting. I'm sort of more curious than I thought it would be. So that's what's going on with Pixar. It's probably more hopeful if you really think about it, because we literally just talked about 3 original productions. 3 original productions and 2 sequels, and then Dream Productions sort of, in a way, its own thing. So it's if you're down about Pixar, know the next 2 are going to be originals. They're going to be kind of from different people. I think we should have a little more hope, but I do think like the fact that they're relying on sequels still is not exactly great. All right, so Disney animation still on D23. Where are we? Hold on. I have a section that I leave them in my little script. Live action bullshit. All right. So we learned that Frozen 3 will release in theaters on November 24th, 2027, right in time for Thanksgiving, as you do with the Frozen movies. which will be crazy because that is a lot of years since the first one. They released some concept art, was actually done in sort of the Sleeping Beauty style, which is really cool. I wish the whole movie was like that. It won't be, don't worry. And we also learned that there's Frozen 4 is in the works, which everyone but Jennifer Lee or anyone at Disney says is connected somehow because they admitted that. I don't think it is. I think, here's the thing with these sequels, and I should break this up, and I want to say this right now. Bob Iger is not a great executive. He's not even a Michael Eisner. He basically goes, I'm gonna buy Lucasfilm, I'm gonna buy Marvel, I'm gonna buy Pixar. He just goes for wins. He's not a creative executive. The fact of the matter is Frozen, which is considered a great success for him, he didn't think was going to do well, and Kmart and Target got pissed off at him because all these people were like, where's my Frozen stuff? It's all selling out. Like, he isn't really good at doing original stuff. That's why there's so many of these sequels. I know when he saw things going south, he was like, Everett, we got to have sequels to every franchise. We got to up these things and bring in the money. It makes sense financially, but he's just not really good at making new stuff. He's good at continuing franchises. That's all he's really good at. I know he got a big standing ovation at D23, but he's honestly not the executive you really need now. He's just the executive who will make you money. He's sort of like, he's not as bad as Zaslav or something, but I just don't find him to be innovative in any sense of the word. He just buys shit. You know, the reason like D23, we're talking about 5 different things, and even if you go to a Disney store, it looks like a mess of a corporation that bought too much shit, is because of him. Like, if you're like, why does Disney have so much shit? It's because of him. He was smart enough to buy it to make the money, but he has no way of like filtering it out. Or why doesn't Star Wars have its own store with Marvel and name it something else rather than like inundate you with a ton of shit? Because he knows if you have a ton of shit, you'll just make money off of it. So I don't like. I get why people like him, but I do think like live action remakes are because of him. Like, the shitty sequels are because of him. Like, that's his real legacy. His legacy is not Frozen. His legacy is not Black Panther. You know, those get added on because they did happen when he was CEO. But I guarantee you, he's more a I can't wait to have a sequel to something than anything else. And yeah, it's just whatever with that guy. Anyway. Yeah, we learned about Frozen 4. They were closing because they have to. Trust me, those people were not clapping because they had to. They wanted to. We also learned Zootopia 2 is coming out next November. I'm sure it's the Thanksgiving big release. There was a brief teaser. A new adventure with Jason Bateman and Jennifer Goodwin are coming back as Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. Is that right? Nick Fox, whatever. Other guy. And that Kiwi Kwan is coming back as a snake. That's cool for him. A lot of people are saying like it sucks he's just in Disney movies. I'm like, I'm sure if he wasn't in a Disney movie, none of y'all would see that shit. So if everyone is supporting those movies, then sure, but otherwise shut the fuck up. Like, let that dude get his bag and leave him alone. It looks fine so far. I'm curious about it. I think it would be a good Thanksgiving release. I hope they keep up like what made the first one so interesting, but I got no sense of that from what they read. It just sounds like another adventure, which is also fine. I just hope it's a good another adventure. We got the trailer for Moana 2, which came out, which looked good actually, about her and her little sister, her and Maui, all that stuff. They're trying to make a big deal out of it. My thing with this is this movie is going to be the monster that people are not hyping up this accurately. You don't know how big this movie is with kids. Every kid's going to want to see it. People are not ready how big this shit was. It's going to be huge. So I don't know if like I'm not sure what the villain is. I'm not sure anything like that. I know it was the show and they brought it together. If it's halfway decent, this thing's making $1 billion. I'm just telling you it's in the top 3 of the year. Okay. Live action bullshit. Let's get into the live action bullshit because there's a lot of it, unfortunately. Yeah. If anyone has some time for super chats just to keep me awake, I'm Sorry, I don't want to e-bag. All right. Where were we? Live action bullshit. So Snow White becomes such a thing. First off, everybody, the takes for this, I don't get why everyone hates Rachel Zegler for being in Snow White, the conservative thing. My only issue with this is Snow White was a major point in film and animation history. Um, it really was a big change. There had never been a really successful animated movie. There obviously have been animated movies before. I think I've talked about most of them actually through various videos. But they weren't as successful as this. It was the first one in colors, the first one in sync sound. I think there was a sync sound one, but it got lost. This is the first one that was a big deal and changed everything. It became the highest grossing movie of all time. Got ignored by the Oscars and most of the industry. But like everyone from Buster Keaton to Charlie Chaplin to Eisenstein was like, this is an amazing marvel of film history. And frankly, to remake that is a bit sacrilegious. I think it shits on the legacy of Disney because that is a huge achievement. Like no one thought he could do it. You know, I know people bring up Mickey Mouse, but the fact that we have animated features today is directly because of that movie. Now I know maybe Rachel Zegler said, "Oh, this has more dimension," like they all do when they make these live action remakes. But I thought the teaser didn't look all that great. It looked standard to what these are. Gal Gadot looked like the evil queen, I guess. But then there's this whole thing like Peter Dinklage apparently. I heard him in interviews say he thought it was bullshit they were using dwarves because obviously he's going to be very sensitive about that. And he has talked about publicly, hate crimes with that and stuff like that. So obviously he's not going to like that. And supposedly everyone's view on that is they were going to have actors of that size, but then they changed the CG because of what he said. I don't think Peter Dinklage is at fault here. I think Disney is at fault for not coming up with a creative solution or thinking something out or talking with him what they thought would be the greatest solution or something like that. They didn't do that. And then they made a bullshit decision. It's Disney's fault. There's no one else at fault here. It's not Peter. I didn't understand people like, oh, it's Peter Dinklage's fault. It's like Peter Dinklage's fault for noting that something he would obviously find offensive is offensive, and him being the most public person that would be offended by that and then vocalize that. I don't see an issue with that at all. I think Disney is it wrong and they made a shit decision, and that's what it is. He did nothing wrong. I think it was really stupid that people are blaming him. Like this, first off, this movie was always going to be fucking garbage. Like I don't understand this whole thing. Like, oh, if they cast this person or Peter Dinklage, I'm like, these are all garbage movies. Like the only one that I still merch for still is The Little Mermaid. Like the rest have failed merchandise wise and have failed like on streaming and stuff. They're not taken off the way they have, except for like Little Mermaid. I still see the merch. With my daughter, we bought a Little Mermaid thing for someone recently, so like I know it's still there, and it wasn't the cartoon. It was definitely Haley Bailey and all that stuff. So I think these are all bad. I'm not really excited for this. I'm probably going to review the animated one. I'll probably end up having to see it because my kids. I really hate these movies. They're just so awful. Like there's nothing redeeming about them. Like there's no new take. Like I saw, she was like, "Oh, you guys gotta help clean too," and it's like, what the okay, but what? I don't know. I hate the thing is like, no, but this princess is empowered or whatever, and I'm like, but is your point? I don't understand. Like, I never get like the point they're making, other than like they're like, oh, we don't want people getting the wrong ideas. I'm like, about the movie with like the poisoned apple and shit. Like I don't know if like this is like I don't know. The other thing is like I don't think Disney wants to acknowledge that like these fairy tales get taught to kids either way, and those animated movies keep existing and keep being very popular. So it's like, why would you even like you're not course correcting anything. You're course correcting thing for a few months, and then because you're gonna go back to watching a movie from what was it 37, 38, like such failures of creativity making these. This is the darkest I'm gonna get all show. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we saw the Mufasa trailer, which also looked like fucking garbage. There's going to be new songs from Lin-Manuel Miranda. I don't know. This is Barry Jenkins. I'm willing to give it a shot because one, it's original, which they haven't done a lot of. So a little more open to it, and that it's Barry Jenkins. But everything I've seen from it looks horrible. I didn't like the original live action remake of Lion King. I know people are saying, oh, there's a white lion in it because Kimba and the White Lion, because you can never shut the fuck up about that. I don't care if it's based on Hamlet or Kimba the White Lion. I don't care anymore. Don't care. Don't care. Just stop it. Just, I don't care anymore. You don't need to make a 4-hour video about it. Like, nobody's going to solve it. Like, you just leave it alone. Just whatever. If Barry Jenkins does actually pull this off, if anyone, I'm sure he could, but I'm still hesitant on it. And then we got the Lilo and Stitch teaser with Lilo popping out like he did in the original thing. But I don't know. I'm disappointed in there being a Lilo and Stitch remake. I think it is like probably the newest one they've done, if I'm not correct. If I'm not right, but I don't know. Looks terrible. It's coming out next year. Whatever. William Ellman says this movie will be the best representation for little people since Gary Oldman and Hypnos. Cheers to you, William. Cheers to you. All right, let me just hold on. Sorry. Let me just say, I think. Oh, Rams the artist. Hello, Stitch. Okay, Stitch's design doesn't look that bad, but I'm okay. Okay. I will admit, in comparison of the horrible pile of shit that is the designs of Disney live action, it is like AI couldn't be that ugly. Like, you have to try to think about something that ugly to make most of the Disney live and forgettable. It's not only ugly, it's fucking forgettable. They can't sell merch of it. Like, Disney can't sell merch of something because it's that bad. I just want to point that out. Anyway, but if you look at that utter pile of human garbage that you actually stepped on and think is one of the worst fucking horrible things in the entire world, and you're like, oh my god, please, it's not even Uncanny Valley. It's just like, just forgettable, unwatchable garbage. But in comparison to that, Stitch, pretty good. If you compare it to the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, Stitch is better than that. But Stitch's design doesn't look that bad, but I'm still not the biggest fan of these movies either. I just hope they don't screw it up and remove the heart of the story, even though I know they will. I don't think they could do the heart of the story, but whatever. Anyway, cheers to you, Ramsey Ars, and congratulations on winning the energy drink thing, taking the crown away from Cornbread. Cheers to you. Sorry, I go too hard on I just don't like, I don't see them for mental health reasons. I mean, there's just like, I can't stand those fucking things. Jesus, they're so awful. Like, and I know I blame Tim Burton, but it's not even his fault at this point. It's just like, it's fucking stupid Iger. All right, so other Disney movies. Disney puts out other live-action movies other than that hot garbage. Well, there's going to be a Freakier Friday. It's actually going to come out in theaters, most likely because they got so much shit for not releasing Hocus Pocus 2 in theaters, and everyone said, you lost all this money on the table. I guarantee you that's not as true as you think it is, but whatever. So they're going to put it out in theaters. I'm still a little, like, not sure how you're going to do this with 3 generations. Like, how are you going to, whatever. I'm excited for Lindsay Lohan to get her comeback. She deserves it. Tron Ares, which I think was the one that surprised the most people, but if you think about it, this is a weird one. So first off, Tron Ares, the plot of it is the plot of Pixels, except it's scary, but like intentionally scary this time, not like what Pixels was. No, it's basically what they had done in Tron Legacy, where I think Olivia Wilde shows up in the real world, right? Who can remember Tron Legacy? I just listen to the soundtrack sometimes. Just leave me alone. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. So this is like all the Tron shit comes into the real world, and it's like scarier and stuff like that. So they got 9 Inch Nails is going to do the score instead of Daft Punk. Okay. My thing with this is I saw 9 Inch Nails live during the Fragile tour at Meriwether Post Pavilion. So I know, and Perfect Circle opened and played Judith twice because no one knew who they were then. Despite Maynard. I'm not joking. I heard them do it twice. Anyway, I love 9 Inch Nails. I think that's cool. But 9 Inch Nails now is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. So what is the fucking difference? I was like, what? Like, I was a little, like, confused. It didn't, like, I was like, I'm cool. 9 Inch Nails, I like 9 Inch Nails. Obviously, he's going to do it more than 9 Inch Nails style. But it was a little like, this doesn't feel like as cool as Daft Punk. It feels sort of like, you just got guys who you already get for other stuff. Like I just, it's like they're very established people who do film scores now. It's not the same. I don't think you get like what. Anyway, I thought it was like I was like, oh cool, but I'm like, is it that cool though? Like, are the Chemical Brothers busy? Like you could have gotten the Chemical Brothers. You could have gotten other techno people. I'm sure they would love to do it. I just don't understand like what who you I don't know. I just find it like I was like I'm excited, but I'm also like I mean, is this different from like I'm probably you know they did Challengers like that just happened like that it's not I don't know it's just not very surprising, you know. It's like I'm not shocked or anything like that. Okay, I realize I'm not keeping track of time at all. It's 11:30. Okay, I don't know. I get that Nine Inch Nails hasn't been Cornbread's bring up or yes that it wasn't like they haven't been a thing for a while, but like Trent Reznor's making music so frequently, it doesn't feel as special. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know who I would have gotten, but I don't know. I think I would have gotten maybe like a another. Like I think the Chemical Brothers would have been cool, to be honest with you, or I would have gotten some techno. There's a lot of like DJs and techno people. What's his name? Charlie Cox or whatever, the legendary British DJ. Like there's people I would have gotten. I think I don't know. My thing with or what's Kraftwerk up to? I'd be cool with let's get Kraftwerk, man. Don't they still do stuff? Like I don't know. I just think like the surprise isn't there. That's all. I think it's coming out in October 2025. Is that correct? I don't know. But anyway, I'm Tron Ares and Jared Leto's in it, so cool. We also learned that The Rock is making a new movie where he makes people hold his PV bottles with Monster Jam, a movie about the crazy monster truck drivers. But the twist is it's about the monster trucks, and it has to be called Monster Jams because of our boy Creech. This sounds kind of dumb. Also, it should be noted, I do know that John Cena has a book series about trucks and has had that for a while because my son reads those. So here's the thing. This is only you. Charlie Cox is. I think it's Charlie. I'll look it up later. I'm sorry. Aphex Twin would have been cool. That would have been cool. Anyway, I think it's called like Pit Stains or something. But is The Rock trying to take away from John Cena? This is the kind of coverage you only get with me. Is the stupid John Cena's book series about cars, which to be honest, right now I like more than Monster Jam. So, is it Monster Trucks 2? Is Creech going to show up? What studio was Creech? Was that Universal or? I don't even remember. All right. Hello. Nathaniel Focus says, funny how this is the third time in history Nine Inch Nails gets acknowledged by Disney, and one of those times was in freaking Country Bear. Is that true? Did they just bring it up? What were the other? Okay, I'm curious about that. Anyway, cheers to you, Nathaniel Focus. Happy Verdell says, one question, is Monster inside of truck? Thank you. All right, cheers to you, Nathaniel Focus. I didn't know that. I'm curious if you have the thing. All right, cheers to you. Thank you for keeping me awake. All right. The only 20th century movie. I know there are other panels, but and we're just trying to get through this. I'll probably actually take a bit of a break when we finally get through this. We learned that Avatar 3 is going to be Avatar Fire and Ash, and we're going to meet the Na'vi Fire Nation people. Sorry, Fire Na'vi that aren't from the Fire Nation. It has nothing to do with that other Avatar. It's not the same. It's different. Don't ask it. But we learned that yes, it's going to be Fire and Ash. That he's working on it. I don't know. After Avatar 2, I'm a little more, but I rewatched Avatar 1. And I was like, man, Avatar 1 is just not great. Like, it's like kind of, I don't know. The more times I watch that movie, the less I like it. So maybe if I rewatch Avatar 2, I'll feel the same before Fire and Ash. But it sounds cool. At least he's changing it up. I will give him that. It does feel like the concept already played. It feels like a different movie. So it does seem like, I mean, look, the Cameron made his reputation on sequels. I'm not willing to count him out. And after Avatar 2 with that epic finale, I'm like, I'm not saying he's the most nuanced director. I'm not saying he's the best director, but he's good at being James Cameron, and you can't disagree with that. So now we're going to do Marvel. Is Marvel the last thing? Oh, then Star Wars. Okay. Marvel. After Marvel, I might just... Well, let's see if I can get through D23 before using the bathroom. Apparently there's a Fantastic Four teaser. This has not been released. I'm not super into talking about the teasers and stuff just because those aren't publicly available, and it's just, I don't know. I just didn't, but I know it's there. And it showed them together, and it showed, I guess the actor who plays Johnny Storm was wearing sort of a Fantastic Four thing, and people were like, that's the new costumes or a version of it. Whatever. They're just trying to hype it up. There wasn't too much with Fantastic Four. There's also a little bit with Captain America Brave New World where they fully showed the Red Hulk, but not much more than that. They seem to have a lot of people supposedly just come out and be on stage for this, and they were just sort of shipped out, and they didn't really talk, which I find bizarre. Like, why have these people show up in fucking panels and they don't speak? Like, that was really weird to me. I like watching the footage. It was like, oh, they're there, and then they wave, and I'm like, what was the point of it? Like, it's like this is like the worst con ever. Eva Mendes is selling mushroom coffee. She is? I don't get that mushroom coffee stuff. I don't really want to try it. I don't know. We learned that Daredevil with the whole cast is back. Daredevil and the Kingpin are teaming up to fight a bigger villain. I did not keep up with Daredevil. I kind of wish I did. I don't think I will by the time the show comes out, but it seems cool if you're into that. I keep hearing about Ironheart and the Armor Wars things getting canceled. Ironheart has been delayed so many times. I understand if people are like, it's not going to happen. But since they brought up the whole cast and they brought Ryan Coogler's been announced as producing, I fully think Ironheart at least is coming out. I know they hyped it in Wakanda Forever, but that was like forever ago. So it's like weird that they're finally like, all right, we'll finally put this out. But I'm like, why did you? Whatever. I am actually curious about this, and I've been wanting to rewatch Wakanda Forever because it's a messy movie, and I feel like taken away from, with more distance from Chadwick Boseman and like how I feel. I still think Ryan Coogler's worst movie, but it's his worst movie under the. Obviously, he tried to make the best of it. So, but anyway, I would like to rewatch it with Ironheart. I'm a little interested in this. But yeah, Armor Wars, I keep hearing people say it's probably canceled. I would say I wouldn't count out Marvel right now and that, but I also think like probably. But in my mind, I think if Disney brings your cast out and announce you at D23 you're happening, if it didn't and barely mentions you, I think it's sort of over. But we'll see. All right, we also got a trailer for Agatha. Okay, I don't think I'll watch it, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll watch the first one and do a reaction, but I'm sort of not. I think the Agatha thing, they waited too long, and it's like, does anyone really... Part of me is like, just does the public care about Agatha still? And I think there are enough people that do, but I don't think it's like what it was when that had that song. And I think it's a little silly, but I think Disney and Marvel are like committed to this bit, and you're like, okay, guys. All right, Star Wars stuff. Then I will take a bathroom break, and then we'll do box office. So, Star Wars, I'll talk about the returning things. We get Andor Season 2, takes place over 4 years after the first... No, it takes place over 4 years, apologies. I need to sit down and rewatch Andor. I liked it, but it just... whatever happened at the time. Learned people like Forrest Whitaker and Ben Mendelsohn are coming back, and there'll be other characters from Rogue One, so it'll be sort of leading up to Rogue One. Sounds interesting. We got the first thing for Mandalorian and Grogu. Everyone seems to hate that title. I think it'll probably do okay, but I think like you should just lean into he's called Baby Yoda. Like don't do that. But I put this in the thumbnail because the thing I was most hyped for of all of D23 and everything that came out, and I kind of thought when I was hearing about Skeleton Crew, I was like, I feel like this could be a thing. Like, it could be a good. Like, I thought it was a cool idea. And seeing the trailer, I I am the most hyped of everything I saw there is actually for this, for a couple of reasons. I think one of the things that hit, well, one, it looks fun, like a bunch of little kids on an adventure, and they meet a Jedi, and they're gonna go on an adventure where it's like an adult Jedi played by Jude Law with a bunch of kids. That sounds like some young adult novel shit. Like that's what I want from it. Basically, I don't want it to be deeper. I want kids on an adventure. Like this is some like let's bring out some boxcar children, babysitters club stuff. Like let's do that. I also think the problem with Star Wars is Star Wars fell into the rock of like your dad's complaining about this thing and you don't want to get into it. And the Skeleton Crew looks like it's approaching the young kids in a way that I think, if it is done successfully with John Watts and everything, could really be the thing to get the next generation into Star Wars. I know everyone's saying it's like Amblin and all that, but I was like, yeah, but Spielberg and Lucas obviously are closely tied, so obviously that's going to work. I think a Spielberg-y Star Wars, I mean, I think Lucas tried to get Spielberg to do it 3 times and he didn't do it, so I'm glad we finally are getting something close to it. Um, uh, like he really kept trying, but I'm hyped for this. I showed my daughter, and she was like, "Oh, I want to watch that," and it's like, I want to watch that with my kids. I'm excited for it. I just want like a fun, family friendly thing, and also I will do this for Cornbread. Katana Wolfman was in this. Like I don't know if you remember. This is going way back to the older Movie Crab Live around the pandemic, but Katana Wolfman is back. Katana Wolfman is back, everyone. Also, yes, thank you, Maddie, for bringing this up. The Daniels actually directed an episode of Skeleton Crew. I think John Watts did. Favreau's involved. This sounds like a very good creative team. I'm very excited for this. Like, this sounds really cool. I just want like a fun young adult Star Wars thing where kids are like, okay, Star Wars is cool. My dad's not yelling about how Luke Skywalker shouldn't throw the lightsaber over some dumb shit and like how they hate Asian people. Like this is just I'll do that anyway. But this is, look, Last Jedi stuff didn't make anybody look good, but it looks legitimately. I was like, this okay. This is what I want. This is what I want from Star Wars. I want everybody. I want a mainstream hit. That's what Star Wars is. Fuck the gatekeepers. It is a mainstream, poppy blockbuster thing, and that's what this looked like, and done in a way that I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. So I'm excited for it. All right. I probably need to cool down a little because D23 clearly annoyed me a little if you've gotten my tone. I want to talk about box office, but I majorly need to pee. So we are going to take... Oh, Captain EO. Yes, Captain EO. I like the little crossover thing with Captain EO, and obviously that works because Lucas executive produced that. Kulbak directed. There's obviously... That was cute. I like that. I will maybe Cornbread, since it's in the Discord and it's public, I'll just say Cornbread suggested I do Captain EO. David Lowery and Lee Isaac Chung involved in it. Whoa, Matt, you're getting me excited. More excited for the show as I was excited for. Thank you. Suggested I do Captain EO when Skeleton Crew comes out as a segment. I will do that. I've actually never watched Captain EO. I don't know why. I've had many chances to, and I just haven't. So I'm excited to do that around that. Anyway, I need to pee. Then we will talk about the box office, which is actually interesting. I always think it's interesting, but what do I know? I'm a weird person. All right, no, that's the wrong. I don't want that one. I want this one. Okay, watch me get upset at OBS. All right, I will be right back after I use the bathroom, and then we will talk about box office. All right, I will be right back after this. Okay, I am back. Oh, is there a Captain EO about? Um, oh yeah, I like Defunctland. I didn't know that. Well, when I do the video, I'll have to watch that. Hold on, let me get my camera back up here. Hello, how's it going? All right, let's get into box office. I think it'll be box office a few things. Man, the D23 thing took like fucking forever. Oh, and then we have some major obits. But hold on, let me get up the box office. Mojo. I don't know. I know people like other box office things. I still go to box office Mojo. It's not what it used to be. But all right, where are we? Where are we? Okay. Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't realize that. Cornbread. All right, so box office first. Deadpool and Wolverine continues to do really well, despite it making 53 million, which is down 44%. It's at 493 million just in America. It just crossed $1 billion. I'd say it's still doing well. It's definitely coming into the place that everyone who's going to see your movie has seen your movie, and you're running out of people, and that's the problem it's having, which isn't really a problem. Followed by, and actually, I'm going to be honest, I was very surprised by how well this did, which was It Ends With Us. I'm not really going to get into the drama behind it, and to be honest, like, I don't fully get it, other than, like, I was surprised after seeing the trailer. It's about domestic abuse. Like, that is bizarre, and I love the girl who made a TikTok of Blake Lively's promotion for It Ends With Us about Schindler's List. Was like, that was funny. I like that. However, yeah, it made 50 million, which is only 3 million under what Deadpool and Wolverine made, and actually is in less theaters, and its per screen average is about over $1,000 more, which is impressive because with less theaters, that means more of those theaters were full. And that it's insane, but I think she used kind of a thing VOD used to do, actually, which is use the hype of another movie that your star's in to build your release, sort of thing. Like, they'd have someone on a TV show and they'd like line it up so they're promoting their show, and they'd have posters around so they can sort of piggyback off of it. And I very much think she did that by having, she was everywhere for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I kept seeing this poster everywhere, and you go, oh, she has a movie? Oh, I just saw her on the thing with the Deadpool dress, or I saw her with him there and stuff. So I sort of think she did. This is also the first time a married couple has had 1 and 2 since Demi Moore and Bruce Willis, with Ghost and Die Hard 2, I believe, in 1990. Twisters is doing great in America, not so great overseas. It's very much a American hit. It is not a hit overseas. It's only made 88 million internationally and 225 million domestically. A lot of people are saying there will not be another Twisters movie because of how it's doing. Do they not have tornadoes in non-America places? Like, I feel like they, right? I don't actually know. I'm not trying to be an idiot or something, but people do not care about it outside of America. It's to the degree we do. Next, Borderlands in number 4 bombed pretty hard with 8 million. It has an over $100 million budget. Supposedly Lionsgate was selling off international rights, and I think sold about 60, made back about 60%, but that's still a hefty amount. And opening at 8 million with a huge video game property is that's just a disaster. There's no way about it. They kept delaying it. I mean, Eli Roth literally left the production to make Thanksgiving, which has already come out, and then like he left this movie and was in post so long, and they had, I think, Tim Miller come in, and it was like just a real fucking disaster of a film. I don't see. I don't know. I think there was too much bad buzz, and the people like the game didn't like it, and it just like continued failing and failing. Sorry, and failing, and we just I think when you lose the people, when you lose the video game people or the people who like your property, you're basically fucked. Like, why even make it? To be honest with you. Just Inside Out 2, which is right over 636 million, is still doing really well. Despicable Me 4, same deal, although it's at about half of Inside Out 2, but it's still making good money. It's still 330 million. Trap, a lot of people are saying it's bottoming out, but it's not really. It's actually outgrossed, or I think close to the gross of Knock at the Cabin, which is Shyamalan's last thing. I don't think he spends too much on these, so it's not the disaster people think it is. And Harold and the Purple Crayon keeps flopping. A lot of people are saying it's going to lose a lot of its screens next weekend. I would say that is probably accurate. Other box office things that I'll just bring up. Cuckoo opened at 9th. I think a lot of people thought it would do better, but for a movie like that, that's pretty par for the course. Dee, which is the smaller movie, went up 42%, but also added 153 theaters, so that makes sense. And let's see, do we have anything else? Oh, The Conversation got a re-release for its 50th anniversary. And the bottom of the box office is Crumb Catcher, which made $156. It is about a newlywed couple is held captive, oh, here we go, in a remote lake house by a manically optimistic inventor and his sour wife. What is it? She tastes sour? I'm confused about that. Who are desperate to finance his dream project with a half-baked blackmail plot. Actually, this sounds cool. I'm going to check that out. Crumb Catcher. Bottom of the box office. Apparently it's made $39,000. And it's been out for a while. But hey, it was bottom of the box office, so I'll talk about it. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's move. I don't think there's too much. I mean, I don't know. It is interesting. It ends with us because I think it's, first off, it's appealing to a demo that, like the female demo, which movies aren't really, and it's doing what When the Crawdads saying, sort of same release window about. I do think it sort of stinks that like the only time for female movies that are going to make a lot of money, or female skewing films, is end of August. I hope this gives more studios, even though obviously like there's some weirdness with this movie. I don't think I'll ever see it, but I hope it gives studios like the oomph to like, hey, let's do more female-friendly films, because Blake Lively, like, despite being, you know, married to Ryan Reynolds and like being Lady Deadpool, is not really a big star like this. So it was definitely overperformed because of the book. So I think it's both. I think Hollywood should look at books more, and as IP and properties and stuff, but as well as try to do more female skewing films and promote them in such a way, because you know, I think there is a market there. All right, let's talk. Oh man, I'm running out of time here. How long have we been doing this? I should finish up. There's like too much to. How long have we been? What's going on? Sorry, I have too many things to. Oh, we're like an hour. Okay. Anyway, because I started at 10:40 or something. When are we getting the Hungry Caterpillar movie? Oh, I got Remu Hakushu Shrine. I like that you're here. All right. So, I don't know if you heard. I'm trying to see what I should. Okay. Your internet sound? How are you here? Wait, 18 years? It's been 18 years? Wow, that's a long stream. So Beau Demayo, everybody's favorite creator of X-Men 97, very much wants to give me a router. No, I'm using it. Go to the Emmys because X-Men 97 is nominated. Despite the fact that, like, any day now, a reporter will find out and leak the story of why he got kicked off of a major show. I don't know why this guy is, like, constantly on social media. It is one thing to like, you know, after the 5th episode, be like, hey, is everyone okay? I wanted to explain myself. That was, like, you know, a little iffy. It's also that, like, the fandom is like, he's the greatest. And I'm like, I don't, like, let's wait till we know what he did before we start saying he's the greatest. Like, Like, what if we don't know what he did, but he got like pretty fired? Like, it wasn't like he did something fucked up, obviously. So like, I do find it odd that he keeps posting. Like, it's like if he had just done that and then bounced, it would still be like sketchy. But he like, I don't know, he always seems to like do something weird and then he like keeps doing it, and you're like, what is wrong with you? Hello, Optimus Rube Jump. How's it going? It just, I don't know. He's a weird fucking dude. I don't really get his whole deal. Anyway, but he wants to go, so we'll see. I think he's gonna somebody's gonna release it at some point, maybe when the new season. Well, no. So the OnlyFans thing is, I'll explain the OnlyFans thing a little bit because I sort of get why it would be canceled. It's because he was not posting anything that would be mature or behind. I think he used it sort of as a Patreon, basically. But he was leaking things about the production through his thing he was making money off of. Hey, Will, how's it going? He was leaking things from that on his thing that people were paying him for. And that is like, I don't know what company would let you release secrets on your Patreon or OnlyFans and make money off of that. Like, you know, like people post on their Instagram, but or Twitter, they usually get permission from the studio or ask, am I allowed to do this? And even if you don't, that's considered wrong. But to charge money for that info is like not good. So that the OnlyFans, like he did post like thirst trappy kind of stuff, but like the major issue is he released secrets, and you're not supposed to do that. Like there's no job that, even if you work at the grocery store, if you're releasing like, guys, we're gonna run out of milk next week, like they're if you're my exclusive patron, like no company's cool with that. Like there's just like no. Anyway, what's going on with We'll see. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you for taking care of that, Corbett. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix. So, what's going on with Joaquin Phoenix? He left a Todd Haynes film right before they were going to shoot. What's odd about it was a gay romance that was going to probably be NC-17 for most people's understanding, and he bounced from the production right before they were going to start. This majorly messes up Todd Haynes' film because they don't think they can recast. They're not sure what's going to happen and fell apart. But the thing that that really sucks and is very confusing is Joaquin Phoenix gave the material to Todd Haynes. Like he came to Todd Haynes and was like, I think we should make this and help develop it. And then was like, oh, I don't want to do that now. And then like tons of people are going to be out of work. Sets were built. This movie basically fell apart. I don't understand why they can't recast. I'm a little confused about that. Maybe that's because of the productions or stuff like that. But I also think like supposedly Joaquin Phoenix has a history of like right before Napoleon started shooting, he demanded Paul Thomas Anderson do a rewrite, and Ridley Scott was like, fine, whatever. And let him do that. But the thing that I think sucks about this is, like, this has happened twice before that people keep bringing up. One was Kim Basinger, and she ended up having to settle, I think it was for boxing Helena or something, and she ended up having to pay $3 million. Ultimately, I think the end of that whole thing was a settlement. She got sued, and it went back and forth, but she lost $3 million. And famously, like, Bruce Willis left another boxing movie, maybe? So he left something, and for Disney, and then Disney was like, well, we're basically gonna sue you, so how do you want to do this? And I think they got him in certain movies for below market rate, and those two of the movies was Armageddon and The Sixth Sense, which is insane. Because Sixth Sense, actually, people don't bring this up enough, was like, actually came in under budget. And I always wondered how they did it. And then when I heard the Bruce Willis thing, I was like, oh, that's how. Supposedly, a lot of people think the third one is The Kid. I'm not sure if it is or not. But anyway, that's what's happened before. A lot of people are saying what's going to happen with Joaquin Phoenix is he will get sued. But the problem with all of this is, will this hurt his Oscar chances and all that? I don't know if Joker 2 was really going to get a lot of Oscar buzz. But what it will get is money. He's got a huge payday for it. Everyone expects it to be a huge hit. He's definitely getting a back end there. And almost everyone's saying, like, he'll be able to pay for it, basically. like nothing's going to happen to him. And that's the part that I think really sucks. I think Todd Haynes is a great filmmaker. Joaquin Phoenix used to support a lot of these smaller filmmakers and be supportive and stuff, but I know he, like, I think, what was it called, the movie he did, and he like sort of messed up the not I'm Still Here, but there was another indie movie, and he like kept messing up the promotion, and he's known for just being a fucking idiot. And I think it's like, it's one thing if it was a big studio production, it's like sort of asshole-ish, but like Todd Haynes, like, he's just like, he doesn't get a lot of turns at bat, and he probably was excited to have like this big interesting movie that was brought to him by a major star, and then it falls apart. And it's just, I think that's sad. I think a lot less of Joaquin Phoenix for this. And I think he's past his interesting era as an actor. Like, you know, as much as you think Joker or Joker 2 is interesting, but to leave a Todd Haynes movie, like, that's one of our great auteurs. And like, if you're going to help him develop something, like, starring it is brave, like what he did, like supposedly got cold feet. I think he's just, you know, if there was a scheduling thing that he misunderstood or something, but it sounds like he just got cold feet, and he's just a guy who pulls this stuff and can get away with it, and like most rich people will continue to. So I think it's sad. I think it's pathetic of him, but there'll be no real recourses to most people who's reported it believe that he will have to pay something. But, and I don't think this time, I hope it eventually comes back. It would be fine if he was like, I will recast it, I will pay for the delay or something. I'm sorry, but it seems like he just like bounced and fucked up the whole thing. So maybe we'll learn more about this later. But I don't know, Joaquin Phoenix used to be a really interesting actor, and it seems like as soon as he gets big paydays, he becomes a bit of a jerk. So, you know, I didn't see Napoleon. I wanted to actually, but it's just, I don't know. I just find it a little pathetic. Like, it's just like, you're letting this guy doesn't get a ton of chances, and none of his movies get to do that well, and he had a chance to do something, and you fucked it up. And you know, but it's like, I understand the West Senators bring up the rumor is he had cold feet about the NC-17, like, gay sex explicit stuff, but it's like, it's one thing if like, oh, that was toned down and, you know, the script kept changing, but like, he was developing it, like, he helped write the script. So if you're helping write the script, like, I'm calling bullshit on that, man. Like, you could have, there's so many points in development, he could have said, you know, I don't want to show, my private parts, or I don't want to show this, or I don't want to, that makes me uncomfortable. Like, he was there. So if you're there and you can make that decision, then like, fuck you. Like, like, what is this? Like, I'm sorry. Like, you had so much power over this, and then you're like, oh, I don't want people to, it's just whatever. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, Will, what? Okay. Will, whoa, hold on. Will, okay. Will says, first off, thank you for the generosity. Thank you for the super chat. Will says, I actually have some behind the scenes knowledge about what happened with Todd Haynes' movie. Unfortunately, can't comment here, but message me later, Jim. I definitely will. It's pretty fucking nuts. Okay. He made a good Lynn Ramsey movie. I shot a review of that forever ago, and I'm going to edit it, he says. But it's shot around the time of Joker 2. That's my plan. I liked it. Was it I'm Still Here, or whatever it is. I remember it was good. I agree, Jordan Slaughter. That's it. Will, I'm curious how you know this. We need to talk. All right. A couple things, and then we will actually get into the segment on Chili Willy. I know, calm down, everyone. And if you check out that vintage Chili Willy site, oh boy. All right. Genndy's Fixed will now not be released by Warner's and is going back to Sony. This is kind of one of those things like, why aren't you releasing it, Sony, and why aren't you treating Genndy Tarkovsky correctly? He's one of our great animation directors, but supposedly Sony has it back. Warner's doesn't want to release it. Warner's is another one who they're not risky enough, but I'm also like, Sony, like, give Genndy his due. How many of those Hotel Transylvania movies do well, still get talked about? He gave you a lot. He deserves it. Just like, I think this is a movie that would do well in August, to be honest with you. I think if you released it like maybe next August or something and build to it and stuff, you know, obviously I haven't seen it, but I am curious about it, and I hope it works out, but it's depressing. We also learned, and I think I talked about this a little, but more info has come out since, so I'll mention it really quickly. is that Apple is not going to be doing wide releases anymore. They might be doing some small releases. The film with Brad Pitt and George Clooney, whatever that's called, whatever that is, I forget, I'm sorry, is getting a limited release, but not getting a wide release. And Apple's apparently upset that they don't have many subscribers and they don't have a lot of hits that are crossing over and stuff like that. Here's my thing with Apple. One, it's like it was actually a good release model and it was more profitable than Netflix or anybody because they could make like $60 million, pay the distribution fee, and even if they cost $250, they're making something back as well as getting subscribers to the streaming service. So I thought it was actually a better move for them, like with Napoleon and Killers of the Flower Moon. I know those didn't make all their money back and weren't as huge. The other thing is like Apple Plus or Apple TV or whatever doesn't work on non-Apple devices very well. So it's like, if you want more subscribers, like fix your fucking service. Like, what is this? Like, I'm just like, you guys are so determined to like have Apple crap only work on Apple, but it's like we had it for a little bit and we kept not watching it as much, and so I wouldn't let my kids watch because I don't want to deal with them wanting to watch something and the service doesn't work. Like, people are just going to torrent it and stuff. Like, get your service to... If you think in 2024, you know why Tubi's successful? Because I can just click on it and watch something. You know why YouTube's literally the biggest streaming service, and Apple does the reverse, and they're like, why doesn't anyone watch us? Like, you know why nobody fucking watches us? Like, why are we playing around? Like, it's not the theatrical. That worked for you. You messed up. Fix your stupid streaming service. Like, it's not the show's fault. It's your fault. Like, it's just idiotic. Like, I'm so sick of, like... Anyway, it's just like, it's obvious what the problem is. You messed it up. And when I tweeted about this, people were like, yeah, I can't get it to work on my Roku. You can't get your streaming service to work on a Roku. Like, that's how bad you are at this. Like, you're a $1 trillion company. Like, fix your crap. That's why your streaming service doesn't work. It's nothing to do with wide releases. It's because you're too stuck in your dumb Apple crap and you messed it up. That's all it is. All right, anyway, sorry. I just find it annoying. So finally, this is the last thing, and then we will talk about Obits. The Simpsons is going to turn out to be... Live stream was a mistake. Sorry. This has been... Jim gets mad at... This is the angry... Sorry. There's a lot of things piss me off today. The Simpsons might end up being the longest syndicated cartoon, with Bob's Burgers and Family Guy leaving syndication. Syndication's been a weird thing in the recent era. The only real hit of syndication recently has been Modern Family, actually. Even The Office, it took a while to do well in syndication, which seems bizarre now. I think The Simpsons are probably going to keep it around because I'm sure they have contracts and stuff like that. But Family Guy's going to Comedy Central. I don't remember if Bob's Burgers signed a deal or something, but it's basically because Disney wants to sign other deals with people, and syndication is not what it used to be. So I'd expect Simpsons to eventually do that. I don't know why Simpsons, like, they own it, take it off Fox and just put it on Disney Plus. Maybe there's some contract, but I've never understood that one. But yeah, it seems like the syndication of animation of those animated shows is going away. It's just it's sad, but that's sort of where the business is going. I think it makes sense to put it on Comedy Central, although I think it would make more sense to bring it back to Adult Swim. So whatever. All right, so Obits. I want to talk about two people, and one happened tonight. First off, Rachel Lilly, who voiced on Pokemon. She did Misty. She did the girl in Team Rocket. She did a lot of stuff. I think she was kind of one of the great voice actors of her generation. One, like, I can think of those voices in my head right away. I think she deserves credit. She died this past week of cancer. Very unfortunate because she was trying to raise money to pay for those bills. I think this country needs to really reevaluate its healthcare industry, but it's sad that she has left us. But I think the 90s were far more richer for her performances, and that show was far more richer for her performances, and it's sad to see her go. This next one, I'm going to be honest with you, I think is one of the biggest movie deaths of the year. It will definitely be in the Oscar in memoriam. It was Jenna Rollins, who it's interesting how she's being memorialized because of she's famously John Cassavetes' wife, but also famously in A Woman Under the Influence, where she's absolutely amazing in that. She's a great actress. I've never seen Gloria, to be fair, but I've seen her in a lot of stuff, and she's just a really, really amazing. Like, A Woman Under the Influence is one of the great acting lead performances, maybe of all time. Like, Cassavetes, to be a veteran of the Cassavetes school, that's like, I think Cassavetes is probably one of the most influential filmmakers that we don't emphasize enough because of everything he did and how influenced the indie film is with him. But and she was such a part of that, and she was such a titanic part of with those performances and led so much. And if you've never seen a John Cassavetes movies, I say definitely do it and see Woman Under Influence. But I think Jenna Rollins, really an underrated actress for everything she accomplished and everything she did. She's very smart, very wonderful, and it's a very sad day that she left us. If you're seeing that, yes, she was in The Notebook, but actually, I'm gonna say the cool thing is like, I'm not trying to overshadow her performances, but it's amazing that like most of her things were through either when her husband directed or her son who directed The Notebook, actually, which I thought was I don't know, you don't hear about that a lot, but I think that Cassavetes School was so known to be like, let's all cook together, let's all be together, let's all like have this big family unit. And the fact that her filmography, the highlights of her filmography are people from her family, I think highlights that whole school. And I think she might have been the most successful kind of actress from all of that. I don't know. It is a sad day, but I highly recommend A Woman Under the Influence. I recommend any Cassavetes film she's in. A Woman Under the Influence, even Zoe Kravitz, actually, today, she was in the Criterion Closet talking about how great A Woman Under the Influence is. So I would highly recommend you see it. I think if you're wondering, like, if you're studying film, you should see Cassavetes. I'm going to be honest with you. That is like one of the essential directors of film history. Right there. Like, we would not have indie film. So much would not. The improvisation thing is from him. So much is from him. He's so influential. But I think Jenna Rollins, like, without her amazing performance, that film wouldn't work. And those films didn't work without great performances. And without Jenna Rollins in them, they would not have the heart and the soul. And even the craziness. Like, A Woman Under Influence is, like, an insanely great performance. And I don't know. It's sad. I think she might be the last of that group to go, and it's sad to see it. So, anyway, I know most of you don't maybe not know her, but I would implore you to find A Woman Under the Influence and blow your fucking mind. All right. I don't think we're going to take another break. I think we're going to go right into Chili Willy. Sorry to... First, let me find the website. Because I posted it. Oh, wait. I think I have it actually in my notes here. Sorry. Sorry if that was, like, intense or anything. I feel like this has been a lot of me going, like, this is important. Movies. The cinemas. All right. All right. Let me post. This is the fan site. It was linked on Wikipedia. That's how I found it. For Chili Willy. All right. Wait, did I X out? Hold on. Sorry. Too many tabs. Just give me a second. This is sort of a break before we get into Chili Willy, right? Oh, I'm live right now? You don't say. Sometimes they send me emails that say, Jim, you're live right now. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm the one on it. I don't understand. All right. So Chili Willy. So my son, what happened? How did I get into this? Because this is very much a personal obsession. I kind of got into this character recently. And it's because my son got into Woody Woodpecker. And I was like, you know what? I don't know much about Woody Woodpecker. I don't know much about Walter Lantz. And because, basically, if you didn't know, on MeTV Tunes, they'll have, like, Looney Tunes. They'll have Popeye. They'll have, which will be hour-long shows. They'll have, I feel like I should wait for the song just in case I don't. I think my wife's watching Friends. Let's just wait a second. How are you all doing? Hey, you try your best. Um, I feel like I should mute just in case. Hold on. I'm dancing the song. You can tell. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Don't want to get in trouble with the Friends theme people or the refresh replacements. No, that's an actual band. The Rembrandts. I forget. All right. So because he was into Woody Woodpecker, I started researching Walter Lantz. But okay, sorry. Let's start over. So on MeTV Tunes, they have like Popeye, Looney Tunes, Woody Woodpecker, Casper, and each of those represent a different animation company. So like Popeye's Fleischer, Casper is whatever that is, and then Woody Woodpecker is Walter Lantz. So I saw a Chilly Willy cartoon, and I was like, I've heard of him. He's referenced in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but I don't know much about him. And I liked the cartoon I saw, and I started watching more. And I don't know if he is the greatest. He's not amazing or anything. I just sort of got into watching a bunch of him, and I thought, well, I have this YouTube channel. I might as well express my fandom in a certain way. It was almost the Barber of Seville, which I'm a little confused about because I watched it with my daughter, and we were like okay about it, and then I read this thing about this thing about how it's like this amazing short, and I'm like, I kind of want to maybe I'll come back to the Barber of Seville, which people really like. But I liked Chilly Willy, and I watched the two early shorts, and probably two of his most acclaimed, which were directed by Tex Avery, who's really the person who made Chilly Willy into a thing. Now, if you don't know who Chilly Willy is, he's a penguin. He's got a little hat on. He lives in the Arctic. He looks for food. And if he's in a better interpretation, he doesn't talk, because more people should be quiet. But in this one, called Chilly Willy, I'm Cold, there are two Tex Avery shorts. The other one, whose name I can't remember right now, was nominated for an Oscar. This one isn't, because I didn't want to, but this is the first one directed by Tex Avery, and it's called I'm Cold. The other one, sorry, I will look down here, because there was a previous one, and then it was called The Legend of Rockabye Point, which was nominated for an Oscar, didn't win. But Tex Avery only did two, which was this and the one nominated for an Oscar. He then sort of changed the whole course of it and bring off a character called Smeldy Dog as well. I think what Tex Avery brought to it was more of a fun to it, more of a gag thing, and more of like a need, like what does Chilly Willy want? And what Chilly Willy wants basically is to eat. He wants food, basically. He has no food, it's the Arctic. Or to keep warm. And so in this one, Smeldy Dog, who is voiced by Dawes Butler, who he is, although apparently him yawning is Tex Avery. That's interesting, according to the Wikipedia. He is guarding all these fur coats, and basically while Chilly Willy is trying to keep warm with this newspaper, he learns that there is a bunch of coats and furs and stuff, and he can't get them because of Smeldy Dog. And then he sort of messes with Smeldy Dog and tries to get some of his fur to keep warm, and that's the whole short basically. What I like about Chilly Willy is, one, he doesn't talk. I think that's actually cool. It's very pro gags, but he's like kind of cute but mischievous, but not like, I think like when you think of like other characters Tex Avery made, like Bugs Bunny or even Woody Woodpecker, they are mischievous. They are sort of like, you can tell there's a little bit of evil or crazy or loose cannon. Chilly Willy doesn't do that. He's cutesy. He does do mischievous things, but you can't tell it on his face as well. So I actually find that kind of interesting about that character, because he kind of like tricks you, and I like his kind of cute vibe. I don't know. So the thing is with this, Walter Lantz had kind of two characters. Obviously, Woody Woodpecker is his headline character, but then we get this, but sort of his second most popular one. Now, he's the one who got the Oswald character, and so when he got the Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit character, it's sort of like, if you actually want to go through Walter Lantz characters, it's sort of Woody, Oswald, then Chilly Willy. But most people, because obviously Oswald is not created by Walter Lantz, do not sort of count him. It's sort of like this weird thing. But he's one of the top 3 characters of the Walter Lantz studio. I think the early things with Tex Avery is a little more fun and he's a little more gag driven. And I think shorts work a little better. I know they do have things where he does talk later. I watched one where they save a woolly mammoth, and I thought that was kind of cool. But I like this kind of idea of the Arctic sucks, Chilly Willy needs to find a way to survive, and they just do gags to do it. It gives it sort of a drive, it gives it a thing. And I like the character. He's like a cute little penguin. It's cool. I'm not sure if I'll get past this. Is just like a phase for a few weeks while I'm getting into something. But I wanted to honor him because we don't talk about him enough. If you are interested, there is a website. It's linked on the Wikipedia, as I said. And it's a vintage website. I put it in the chat on the stream, but it'll be in the description down below when this is a separate thing. And you should sign the guest book. You can say Jim brought me here. Supposedly, as I think Cornbread found, if you look at the guest book, people post that there's a car with this website for Chilly Willy driving around, and that's how people find it. So I'm really curious, if there's a picture of this Chilly Willy car and this person who, have this 1998 looking fan site for Chilly Willy still going all these years. I'd love to see this car. It's really interesting to have it going on, but he's sort of a forgotten character. I think if you got the right creator, it could work again. I'm not the biggest fan of the Woody Woodpecker 90s thing and the other stuff, but I like what Tex Avery... Pizza Party reference. I don't know about that. I like what Tex Avery did with the character. I think his 2 shorts are probably some of the best of it. I haven't seen all of them, and I'm curious. Maybe I'll do more Walter Lantz, or maybe I'll do The Barber of Seville and get more into it. But I like Chilly Willy. He's kind of a cool character. He's really cute, and he is sort of a lot of fun. And I think I'm Cold is probably my favorite of the Tex Avery ones. I know it wasn't nominated for an Oscar, but Tex Avery does some solid work. And I thought he did a very solid kind of gag-driven short here, and I like how it evolves and changes over the time and makes how it evolves and changes over the short, and his needs change, and it's able to continue the gags. You almost sort of don't notice because the gags run through it so well, and that's sort of one of the geniuses of Tex Avery, because he was a really good cartoon gag man, as evidenced in Chilly Willy's I'm Cold. All right, William Ellman said, I know Chilly Willy from the Simpsons quote when Barty Gumble chants, we want Chilly Willy, we want... Is that really? I didn't know Barty Gumble. Oh, I kind of remember that. Okay, cheers to you, William Ellman. Thank you for that. I didn't know he was referenced in the Simpsons. Cool, cheers to you. All right, we're going to do questions. I'm going to write questions below. Thank you again, William Ellman, sorry. And then we'll get out of here. How long have we been doing this? Okay, I'm actually on time. Look at that. I didn't talk about the Disney lawyer thing, but it's a whole mess. Okay. Nathaniel Foga asks, these are the Patreon questions. First, if you didn't know, if you're a patron, you get to have the first couple questions. What's something you're hoping from this new Tron movie? From Nathaniel Foga. I'm hoping it doesn't suck, and I'm hoping we get some cool Nine Inch Nails songs. So I guess those are the 2 things. And I hope Jared Leto dies in the first frame and somebody else stars in it. Cineram says, okay, interesting. Some reviews have complained that It Ends With Us is far too lenient in the manner in which it treats both the subject of abuse within a relationship and the abuser character himself. Assuming that you haven't seen it, I haven't yet, and I haven't either, what's an example that stands out to you of a film that treats its subject with a noteworthy lack of read-the-roomness? That's an interesting question. I mean, I would actually say the fact that Driving Miss Daisy came out the same year as Do the Right Thing is almost my... there's more comments here. Is almost my... sorry. Okay. Sorry. There's Jordan Bouchard. I almost missed your question. That sucks. And there's replies? Interesting. Okay. Sorry. I almost... Glad I didn't. Well, I would say that one. I'm trying to think of anything else. Hmm. Oh, actually, I don't. I think this. I don't know if this means anything to you. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I know it was considered good at the time, but it sort of is weak in terms of like you're having like I don't know like dying Spencer Tracy, Catherine Hepburn talk about race in America in the late '60s is like I don't know. I tried to rewatch it years after, and I know people, the boomers find it nice, but I don't. Green Book, uh, another one. What's there about race? I can't think of one about abuse that does it so poorly. But I haven't seen It Ends With Us, and I don't know if I will, to be perfectly honest with you. So I would say those. I would say those. All right, Jordan Bouchard says, not to be morbid or bring the mood down, but off the top of your head, what shoe or movie would you watch if it was the last thing you could see? What shoe? I'm assuming you mean short. You might want to ask this question. I think you type shoe instead of show. You know what? What shoe I would watch? I would watch. You know what? No, I'm not going to answer the show. I will only answer the shoe question. I would watch the Marty shoes from Back to the Future, I guess. Maybe Fred Astaire's shoes. I would watch. Or maybe Dorothy's shoes. I've seen them a few times. So I would, at the um, Smithsonian. Movie, last thing, it would either be Mystery Science Theater's Man of Hands of Fate, or I have a big nostalgia for Return of the Jedi, even though I know it's not good. It was my favorite movie when I was like 9, and I just like, it just gives me comfort, I guess, or Willow, but I would probably go maybe Return of the Jedi, or you know what? The original Star Wars ends like a motherfucker, so I'm going to say that one. I'm going to say that one. I sort of answered the show quiz, but it's just, I like this. I think Sidra was like, "Hey, you might want to." Thank you, Sidra, for trying. All right, Austin. We always got to end with Austin. Hey, Jim. Hope you're well. What a great show. Sorry, I forgot about movie crap. My question is, you didn't forget. What's the best movie theater popcorn you ever had? Well, it's not the one that gave me food poisoning. Let me tell you that. But that's why I actually don't eat popcorn now because when you can't take a kid to the movie and not get them popcorn. So that's the only way. It's usually me and my daughter. I like the Regal popcorn, but also, okay, I'll tell you a cool popcorn story. The Senator Theater has good popcorn, but when I used to go to when my dad took me to the art theater, the Charles, and it was back when it was a single screen theater. If you know the Charles in Baltimore now, it's like a multiplex. That's sort of like what that owner does. He does the same thing in the center, but he does good work and he keeps the original theater intact. But it was a single screen. I think we were seeing, I got food poisoning for popcorn when I saw 21 Jump Street. I didn't feel it until I was done with 21 Jump Street, thankfully. But anyway, I remember, I think we either saw Ghost in the Shell. No, I think it was Ghost in the Shell. Or maybe it was Doctor Strangelove, a re-release. But my dad said, pour on the snot, and the guy thought it was so cool, and he poured so much butter. And it was probably too buttery for me now, but I remember thinking that was the greatest thing. And it was like such a cool moment because it was like my first art theater. And if you ever go to the Charles in Baltimore, it is very aesthetically pleasing. It just looks like a great art theater, and it is a great art theater. And man, that popcorn when it was just one theater, the taste of it was so. And even, you know what, I bought popcorn since, and it's always good there. So I'm gonna give it to the Charles. Charles might have my best popcorn. Although when I go to either, I buy popcorn because I support both those theaters, which are I think owned by the same guy now. Anyway, sorry that went over. Anyway, but yeah, go to the Charles in Baltimore or the Senator if you're in Baltimore and you can go to the Senator. Okay. Remiku Hariku Shrine. Are you still friends with Ian JQ? Yeah, we text sometimes with major life stuff happens. We don't get to. We're both busy people, so it's not like it was, but we can still text each other. So I think we're friends. Did you see the Gravity Falls website? No, I didn't, but I do have the Book of Bill, which I've kind of flipped through. I don't know. I'm not good with books that are like that because I'll eventually read it all, but in like the most disorganized mess of a way. So Anyway, that wasn't the question, but I told you anyway. But I didn't see the website. Sorry, Javier Portela. Cornbread. Katana Wolfman is back in a major Star Wars production. Is this a testament to my power? Should I be feared? What does this all mean? You should be. In fact, stop predicting things. Don't. I think it is your power. I think John Watts watches this in secret. Oh my god. If he did, that would be hilarious. He goes, look, I watch this like idiot dude. He like live streams from his kitchen like a dumbass, but he brought one of his viewers brought up Katana Wolfman. Not plausible. What's your favorite instance of an animated show or movie suddenly switching mediums as either a gag or as a story beat? As a gag, mediums. Huh. I almost want to say the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, where Homer became CG and then was in the real world. Switch gag. I mean, Community did that a lot, but that's not an animated show. So I'm gonna stick with the mysteries. The Simpsons. Wait, really? Why'd you say wait, really? I'm curious why Green Wing Sparrow said wait, really. Did you know about the 90s Woody Woodpecker that also has Chili Willy segments in it? I think you would definitely enjoy it. I've seen some, but my problem with it is it's too like sitcom-y kind of thing, and I think like it sucks when you see someone who's gag oriented become like very stagnant, and from what I've seen, I'm just not into it, and so we mainly watch the shorts. I am aware of it, and maybe I'll do a thing of it. I kind of want to learn more about Walter Lantz before I like start shitting on stuff and hating on, I want to understand. It's sort of like a fun little animation side quest I'm on with my kids. Cornbread, when is Jim Gisriel Fistful of Files getting a Sundance run? Reach theatrical length with the stream. We can go all the way. Fistful of Files. Oh, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not joking. I don't have the best luck with film festivals, so I think, but I would be down. Yeah, I don't know who would want to watch this in a theater, but we'll see. Question: I finally got the alien head popcorn bucket. It's cool. Oh, congratulations, Austin. Nathaniel Fogo, what's your favorite 9 Inch Nails song? Probably one of the singles like Head Like a Hole, but also I think the Fragile is what's it it's like the second single. I really like it. Now I can't think of it. Hold on. 9 Inch Nails. I think the Fragile's a little underrated. I bought it the day it came out. What are the singles? Not Wearing This Together. Remember when that was the... What are the sing? The Day of the World. Into the Void. Into the Void, I think it would be up there. Oh, Perfect Drug. Perfect Drug and After Your Rules. So I'm going to go with those. Thank you for asking me that. Nathaniel Foga. Do you ever go to any of the Disney parks? What are your thoughts on them as a niche of pop culture? I've never been to a Disney park. And to be honest, when I see the prices, I'm like, fuck no. So the thing is with Disney parks, and I know someone who worked there, is I'm sure I would have a good time. But how I would have a good time is like, look, obscure thing. And I would freak out about that. And I would feel good about myself. But, yeah, I would be like, I don't know. I don't know if I would enjoy. I'm not a big theme park person. Although we go to Coney Island and those are theme parks and I have fun there. So maybe I would, but it's like a lot of money. So I've never done it. I wish I did as a kid, but we didn't. Nathaniel Foga, favorite and least favorite film from 2014. Favorite right now, probably I Saw the TV Glow is sort of my, I think, best of all right now. Least favorite, either Madam Web, probably. I think that's just the go-to worst movie. I might just see Borderlands to have another bad movie. Favorite, sorry. Consider, have you never seen Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I'm surprised. I mean, yeah, it's not great or anything, but I'm just surprised. Sorry. If there was one rejected cartoon pilot you caused to get greenlit, which one would it be? Oh man, what is the one? And I reviewed it and I can't remember. I mean Korgoth, but like whatever. But where it's like mission, yeah, mission, yeah, mission. I can't remember the name of that, but I've reviewed it, and Sophie and I watch it every now and then. It's either that or the Amethyst DC short. That's another one we watch a lot, and I wish that had become a thing too. Cornbread, with them creatively repurposing Captain EO and Skeleton Crew, what's another Disney forgotten thing you'd like to be adapted and used in somewhere else? Oh, Black Cauldron should be a show. That's a series of books. I don't know why they haven't done that. I think it is one of the dumbest things that they've not made a show out of Black Cauldron. You could easily, and I'm serious about this, make an interesting, long-running sci-fi show off of those books. And the fact that they do not use an IP that is very associated with them and try to counter Game of Thrones or something. But I guess Willow bombs, so they won't, so like whatever. Who did I see the Willow guy in something? I saw him in something, and I can't remember. Like the guy who's like the... What did I see him in? It wasn't Babes. It was like... Maybe it was Babes? I don't know. Reimu? Oh, Reimu Haraku Shrine. Okay, thank you for that. Sorry, I'm not good at pronouncing anything. I said 2020. What do you mean got the wrong... Favorite from 2024. That's the year we're in, correct? What? Planet Panic. Planet Panic, yes. That's what I mean. Sorry. I thought Madam Web and I saw the TV Glow. I'm lost on what's going on there. Oh, you suggest that. That's good. No, we watch it like fairly regularly. I'm like, I wish it would. I think we stopped watching it because we watched too many times. Is that everything? Did I get everybody? Okay. Alright, I guess that's it. I guess we did the whole show. Alright. Okay, I don't know. Oh, 2014. 2014. Okay. That's favorite. Okay, that been a while. Hi, hey, Lucas Anderson. Thank you for the super chat late in the show. Cheers to you. Favorite from 2014. Sorry, that's why I was like, what is he talking about? Thank you, Lucas Anderson. That's really cool. It has been a while. I'm glad you're here. Favorite from 2014. I'm actually going to post it in Throwbacks in a few weeks. It's called Stranger by the Lake was my number one that year. It's like this French movie about like these dudes on this nude gay beach, and I really like that movie. I don't know. Least favorite. I can't remember what I put in the worst that year, and I can't. Hold on. I'll look 2014 because I messed this up. We're gonna look this up. 2014 movies. Okay. Wow, this is not. Why is the Google on this all fucked? I don't know what my least favorite would be. What did I see? Sometimes I'll look back at my. No, you're good. By the way, Cornbread, you're good. I should have read it correctly. That's on me. Wait, is Predestination? That's a good one. Hold on. Let me look up. Worst of 2014. Gisriel. Oh, what did I do there? Oh man, I didn't make a good thumbnail. Fucking idiot. Why'd you do that? No One Lives, Lone Ranger. Oh, A Good Day to Die Hard. Oh, I forgot that came out that year. Yeah, that would be. Whoa, that is like a next level horrible movie. A Good Day to Die Hard is one of the worst, maybe the worst movie of the 2020. 2010s, if not of all time. It's like really, really bad. So I would say Stranger by the Lake. I forget what I had as number like 2 and 24, but I remember Boyhood. I also think holds up better than people give it credit for. I think people need to. I know that was a throw, but yeah, Stranger by the Lake will be a throwback if you're in number one. But yeah, sorry, Classic Cameron. Sorry. All right, that is it. I think maybe what I'll do, if there's not a lot of news. I will do I'll rattle off some of my favorite movies of the years I haven't. We'll just do a best of the movies I wanted to do a best of the first 6 months, or I used to do best of the first 4 months, because I do feel like before summer, if you're released before summer, like you get fucking ignored by the time it's the end of the year. So I hope I answered that correctly, Nathaniel Focus. Sorry about the confusion. So I might do that, but we'll see. Maybe something crazy will happen. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your support. It's been really cool. The channel's doing pretty good, and I think it's because of all y'all. There might be a musical short tomorrow, but I know there'll be a review. And I want to thank you all because you all have been really good to me, and I really appreciate it. So I know I always say that, but I mean it. So all right, I want to thank the super. Come on. I think I hit the. Okay, I want to thank super chats from Lucas Anderson, who came in at the end there. Chum Cracer with the, I forget what, what money that was. Chan Talks More Movies, Austin, Nathaniel Foga, who else? Nathaniel Foga, William Ellman, Will, Ramsey the Artist. Thank you all very much for all your support during the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you for doing this. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching this, you got through it, and I didn't get to do the timestamp. Sorry. I'm just trying to get things ready and trying to do everything. So I apologize if it isn't, but no, it wasn't because of laziness. It's because I probably fell asleep. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your summer. Do something fun tonight. I do still like Furiosa a lot, by the way. I wanted to say that. It's just TV. It's still... Anyway, we'll get into it next week, possibly. Anyway, everyone have a good night. Have a good time. Subscribe if you would like to. And I will see you all next time. All right, peace. Bye.